Hey guys, what's up? It's Justin, aka Diego, back again talking about the tanking rotation. The 969, doing another video on that. A little bit more breakdown, a little bit more in depth. Blood Elf Dance! Look at me go! Yeah, so in this video, I'm going to show you different ways to utilize the 969 rotation on the pull. Pre-pull, obviously, get Divine Plea going, cast Exorcism, spam your taunt, and then Avenger's Shield. I did another video on that, but basically you can see all three things do connect here. This first pull is Judgment, Shield of the Righteous, Holy Shield, Hammer of the Righteous, Consecrate. So there's my Judgment, there's my Shield Bash, there's my Holy Shield, there's my Hammer of the Righteous, and Consecrate. And then there's a 6 second, 9 second, 6 second, 9 second, 6 second, 9 second. So it just kind of rotates back and forth. You kind of predict which cooldown you're going to use next by which one you just used. So if you use a 9 second, you know you're going to use a 6 second. So check to see which one's off cooldown and use that. This next pull is good for front loading threat. Okay, you get your Shield of the Righteous and your Hammer of the Righteous up first. Your two bigger attacks, and then obviously you want. I like judging first because you get Judgments of the Just up, which makes them swing 20% slower. Hopefully you respect that, but you kind of see there you get them both on cooldown, so it's a 9-6-6-9-9 rotation. But then I flow right back into the 9-6-9 rotation. So here comes that 9 second, then my Shield Bash 6 second, Consecrate 9 second, Hammer of the Righteous, Judgment, back and forth 9-6-9. So even though I did start out with a 9 and then two 6s, and then I was able to follow back up and just run right back into the 9-6-9 rotation after I get everything on cooldown. It's basically first come, first serve. Once you get everything on cooldown, just make sure to make it easier on yourself. You do rotate at least a 9 and a 6 in the first two abilities. So this next one is good for AoE and trash. Obviously, you see Hammer of the Righteous is going to be my second ability used. Then Consecrate. Two main AoE abilities are going to be laid down first. So there's a Consecrate, Shield Bash, and then Holy Shield, and then back in the 9-6-9. So there's a 9 second, 6 second, 9 second. You guys kind of see how this is flowing. 6 second, 9 second, 6 second, 9 second. Keep an eye on my add-on that's right over my, I got 5 buttons, which are my main abilities, right there on my left, or right over my player frame. So then my add-on basically tells me, it's not 100% accurate, but it gives me a gist of it. I kind of know, like the back of my hand, what I'm going to use now, so I don't really even glance at that unless shit hits the fan, and I just kind of lose track of where I'm at. This pull right here is if you want to get Holy Shield up first. Some people like getting it up first before the boss engages them to maximize their block value or block rating, to decrease the amount of damage they might take. So you see me running here, pop Holy Shield, and then Shield Bash, Judgment, Hammer of the Righteous, Consecrate, 6 second, 9 second, 6 second, 9 second cooldown, 6 second cooldown, back and forth. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit further breakdown of this. You do need a spec for this rotation, meaning you need at least 1 point in improved Judgment. I'll talk about that a little further in just a little bit. God, come on, there we go. Alright. The standard global cooldown is 1.5 seconds. So our rotation is that. It's broken up in between our global cooldown, which is 1.5. So every time you use an ability, you have to wait 1.5 seconds standard before you use another ability. So this basically means that anytime your abilities are divisible by 1.5, the global cooldown, that makes it ideal, because then you could use it as soon as it's off, as soon as your GCD's up, as soon as that global cooldown's done, you could use your next ability, which will increase your threat. So the reason why we need at least 1 point in improved Judgment, so I'll show it right here. I'll put up the standard 9-6-9 rotation that I used in the first clip. Judgment over here will be our first thing. And those little Pac-Man signs, those little mouse Pac-Man guys, we're going to call those our global cooldown, or 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to add those up as we go. So we're going to Judge, 1.5 seconds later. We're going to Shield of the Righteous, 1.5 seconds later, or 3 seconds after we judged. We're going to Holy Shield. And then at 4.5 seconds, we're going to Hammer of the Righteous. At 6 seconds, we're going to Consecrate. at 7.5 seconds, we're going to shield the righteous again. And then now we're at our 9 second time from when we judged. Okay, so now we're going to judge again. So it should be off cooldown. If you didn't put 1 point in improved judgment, it would be a 10-second cooldown by default, meaning that you could not judge for another 1 second, which means you're sitting there with your hand up your ass. And you go, oh wait, what? But Diego, what if I want to use Avenger's Shield or another ability that's instant? I don't want you don't want to use Exorcism because that's a cast time, and anytime you're casting with stuff being on you, it's going to push you back and it's going to fuck your rotation up even more. So, but ideally, you're like, well, why can't I just use Avenger Shield or something else to fill in that little lull of 1 second? Well, one, because it's just 1 second, and that means that you've wasted at least 0.5 seconds of your rotation somewhere, and those longer cooldowns, like Avenger Shield, which is 30 seconds, you're gonna have to wait. What happens when you use Avenger Shield that time, and then you're back up to judgment for the next rotation down the road, and Avenger Shield's on cooldown. So now you're forced to wait the full 1 second. So basically, at the 9-second interval, you're gonna need to judge again, which means you need the 1 point. If you have 2 points in there, it's an 8-second cooldown. That's fine too. You still doesn't mean you're gonna be able to judge more. It just basically maybe a mob is not in range from you. And for some reason it's running to a DPS or a healer or something. You could judge it, maybe just snap some thread on it, get it coming to you, or if they pulled it off you, you gotta taunt it on its way back. You could judge it before it gets to you. You know what I mean? So 8-second cooldown is nice to have when something's out of range for your Shield the Righteous or Hammer the Righteous. Another reason why you don't want to use Exorcism in your rotation is because while you are casting, you cannot, your avoidance fails on you. You can't dodge, block, or parry. The only avoidance you have working for you is your miss, which is just basically increased by defense, and it's inconsistent. You don't want to be casting whenever something's on you. It's good for pre-pulls because obviously nothing's attacking you yet. But as far as stuff actually beating on you, Exorcism is a bad idea to use in your rotation. Some people might argue when a boss comes into execute range and you can Hammer of Wrath him. People think that might be a DPS increase. Yes and no. It's only a DPS increase if you drop Holy Shield out of the rotation. It is a 15-second cooldown on Hammer of Wrath. So if you don't use Holy Shield, you could Hammer of Wrath every other time and then refresh Holy Shield your next rotation. But that decreases your survivability. So it's not the smartest thing to do, but if you want more threat, that's probably the way to go about it. I'm not saying do it, but if you're off tanking for some reason, you could do that and generate more threat, more DPS, because obviously if the boss isn't attacking you, you won't need Holy Shield. So another thing that you might be able to sub Holy Wrath in for is Consecrate. Consecrate over time will do more damage than one Holy Wrath or Hammer of Wrath. So you might want to, if the boss is moving a lot, you're doing a lot of moving, yeah, Hammer of Wrath might be a little bit better if mobs or the boss is not going to stand in your Consecrate. Otherwise, you don't really want to sub in Hammer of Wrath ever. Ret Paladins do it because I think they have a lull. They have a period of time where they're actually not doing anything. So anytime they have an extra ability like Hammer of Wrath, they throw it in their rotation. Prot Paladins aren't the case. Like I said, the only way you would want to use it is if you're off tanking and you won't need Holy Shield to increase your block rating because you're not being attacked. He's attacking the main tank or something. Or if the boss is moving and he's not going to stay in your Consecrate. So that's the video, guys. I hope that helped clarify how to use a 969 rotation and different variations of it. If you like these kind of videos, I do a bunch of them. Just subscribe to my channel. And if you're just stopping by for the first time, thanks for stopping by. If you like them, rate it, comment. I don't give a shit. But comments, questions down below. Thanks again, you guys. Have a good one.